going on? We're in the greenhouse. Beautiful tomato plants. So I'm doing some routine maintenance on the tomato plants today, and I'm also going to be going through my fertilizing program. So I figured I would just take you guys along. Okay? So I use, for the most part, all the fertilizers I use are Guy Green products. They they sell a fertilizer product for every use you could think of. So this is their all-purpose. It's a 444. That's a veg. They make a Power Bloom, right, with a 284. This is what I'll be using today. They also carry bat guano, oyster shells, calcium supplements. They carry basically, if you need it as a fertilizer, they stock it, and they carry them in buckets from this big up to big ass like bulk purchase. If you've got like a massive greenhouse or something and you want to just use their products. So because my tomatoes and my cucumbers are all flowering and they're all putting on fruit, I'll show you back here. We've got a couple little tomatoes starting, and we've got cucumbers growing over there. I'm not as worried about the nitrogen as I am with the phosphorus, because nitrogen is going to get them growing green. That's already working out great. But now that we're going into flowering and it's going to start making fruits, they have different nutrient requirements, right? So we're going to give them a higher, see the 8? We're going to give them a higher phosphorus dose because the phosphorus is for flowering. All right, so when you're using powdered fertilizer like this, let me open it up so you can see what I'm saying. When you're using an organic powdered fertilizer like this, if you just put that onto the top of your soil and try and water it into your plants, what's going to happen is it's literally just going to float. It'll just float right on the top of the water, and as the water settles in, the fertilizer will just sit right back on the top of your soil. That's not going to do you any good, right? So I'm going to walk you guys through this super simple process. There's just a couple of things you got to keep in mind. So here we are. We're looking at the pot of the sugar lump cherry tomatoes. We have 2 plants growing in this one pot. All right, so get all your soil. It can cake up a little bit on the top, so fluff it up a little bit. You know what we'll do? Here. There we go. Just take that leaf right off. We're going to get some of our Guy Green Bloom. We're going to give it about 1/4 cup. And then we're just going to shake it on all over. All right. Now that we've got that in there, now what you want to do is you want to get in there with your fingers and you want to blend all this in to the top of your soil. And you basically want it to incorporate into this top layer, because whatever is not blended in nicely, as soon as you hit it with the watering can, it's all just going to float, which means that it's not going to get absorbed. Okay. Just move that over. You guys still see okay? We're going to take our watering can. We're just going to give it some. Now, this is not all the water I'm going to give it. Okay? I'm just going to give it a little bit. That's going to allow all of it to sort of settle in a little bit. It's going to allow the water to sink down. See? See how it's dried up already and the water's filtered down? There we go. We give them a good drink. And that water now is going to pull all that fertilizer down into the soil instead of floating. And then afterwards, I'll do the other tomato plant, which is right over here. And then I'll do the cucumber. And then I'll come back and I'm going to re-water this again because it's a little dry. So same process with this. This is the blue chocolate. Get another scoop. Give or take a quarter cup. And the nice thing about using organic fertilizers like this is the plant is only going to uptake what it needs, right? So you don't really have to worry too much about over fertilizing. I mean, you don't want to really, smash it with a ton of fertilizer because that's just basically redundant at the end of the day anyways, right? But you don't have to worry about over fertilizing the same way you would have to worry if you were using like a chemical fertilizer. Because you have to be really careful when you're using chemical fertilizers. Like you need to basically measure the amount of soil and then measure the amount of fertilizers you're putting in. Or you could get into a real bad problem real fast. And it's hard to get excess fertilizer out. All right, so we fluff that all in. Water it. We're going to pour some water on the floor, and that's okay, because that's why we have plastic sheets on the floor. So we'll let that settle in. And then in the meantime, let's see how we're going to do this one. This could get a little interesting. Hang on. All right. I can't get the camera over there. There's no floor space. So we'll just work from here. Okay, so that's my cucumbers. That is not potting soil. Okay, the tomatoes are in potting soil. That is in compost, like mushroom compost. That's in cow manure. That's in a bunch of other stuff. So that does not take water as easily. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to pre-moisten the top with my water bottle, let that settle in, then I'm going to put fertilizer on, then I'm going to water it in. Let's see if I can make room. Hang on. Oh, it does fit. Look at that. Okay. Let's see if we can get the camera and the tripod into here. Will it fit? Will it not fit? Okay, there it kind of fits. I'm running out of floor space in here, guys. Okay, that's about the best I can do. Oh, wait. There. That's about the best I can do. I'm out of space. So we get our tub of fertilizer. Pick the weeds out. Same thing. We're using our bloom formula. Basically what I want this plant to do is start producing more females for me. I'll show you the plant in a minute. We're going to give it a little bit more. I'm gonna have to reach around the camera. We would just blend that in. Now we get the big watering can. And now it really gets watered in. It might seem like a lot of water, but that's like a 20-gallon bucket or something, so it needs a lot of water, because even you can tell how dry it is at the bottom because I've got dry soil coming out of the bottom of the holes on the bottom of the bucket. So now we're just going to let that filter all the way through, and that'll pull all of that fertilizer down into the bottom. Let's see if I can get this out of here. And that's why, look at the flowers. Loaded. Males, females. And then we have that's my dinner tonight. I'm gonna make a salad. It's my first cucumber of the season. Look at that beauty. They're pickling cukes, guys. That's why they're small. So, I'm still fertilizing. I'm still hand pollinating, and we've got cucumbers growing all over the place up in here. So that's basically what we're doing to fertilize. And then one last thing we're doing is, let's straighten this out. Because these tomatoes are an indeterminate variety, they're going to send out suckers, and we need to trim all of those suckers out of here. Oh, I'm still zoomed in. Right. So we're just going to come in here, start at the bottom, and work our way up. See? Sucker. Gone. Boom, on the ground. Clean it up after. Here's another sucker. And then we're going to come up here. Now there's one at the very top. Okay? Now normally, if we were growing outside, I single stem these, right? Single stem as in there's only one main vine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this sucker and I'm going to train it that way. And then I will allow that to grow, and that will put off more fruit for me. But anything down here, like this one, see that one? We don't want that. Come to the next plant. I've already been trimming the suckers out of them. But, and you see we have, there. See it right there? So we have that one, and then we have that one, and we're going to keep those. And here you can see, look at, let's see if I can get my hand behind it so it, see it's starting to make little tomatoes? See? So we'll be eating tomatoes pretty soon. And that's another reason I wanted to fertilize, because see, and there's another sucker, and we're going to grow that sucker up and attach it to that part of the trellis. So it will also make me more fruit. Basically, the whole point here, guys, is I only need these, and this is how you pollinate your tomato flowers. Just give them a shake for about 10 seconds. It won't hurt your plant. But male and female tomato flowers have male and female organs in them, sex organs in them. So just by giving them a good shake like that, you pollinate your plant. We do the same right back there. You see that flower? We just come to the We just give it a shake like that. And then that's going to knock the pollen around inside that flower. And that'll pollinate it for me. And that's all you got to do to pollinate your tomatoes. Super simple, only takes a second. So we're done fertilizing this plant. We're done fertilizing that plant. And we're done fertilizing the cucumber. And that's all I'm going to work on here today for fertilizing. I've got a bunch of other stuff, but we're going to stop there for fertilizing. I hope this helps, guys. I mean, you have lots of options in the fertilizer space for what you can use. If you're looking for something that you can rely upon every time for all of your uses, whether it's growing inside in pots, growing outside in your garden, growing weed, whatever it is, you can rely on Gaia Green products. So, and I've used them for 15 odd years. And when I go shopping for fertilizer, there's nothing else I'm actively shopping for besides that, unless I'm looking for pelletized hen manure or something sort of off-brand that the Gaia Green doesn't sell. So I hope this helps. Grow your food like that, and have an awesome day. See ya.